Hi there, I'm Charlie and I live in the UP of Michigan, the Upper Peninsula. I have 3 tortoises. I have a Greek tortoise, a sulcata tortoise, and a redfoot, a baby redfoot. I'm preparing their meals, so I figured I would record what I do so that a new owner can kind of get an idea and maybe it's helpful. So here are my redfoot, sulcata, and my Greek. Sorry, it's super hot here. My redfoot's name is Cherry, and my sulcata is Sheldon, and my Greek is Georgie. So I really love my tortoises a lot. They are my world. So it's really important that you research and use tortoise table. The tortoise table, I live by it, okay? Anyway, here we go. Start by saying that I have 3 plates here, right? I have 3 tortoises, and they eat completely different things. Like the sulcata, it's best to just think of a sulcata as if he's a diabetic. They don't like sugary food. You can't give that to them. They can't, it's just bad for them in all ways. Kale, spinach, stay away from it. Some people feed kale sometimes, but I'd rather just stay away from it because there's so many substitutes, right? Anyway, let's get started. I have a baby redfoot, so I chop everything up very small for him so that he can eat the best that he can. So I'm going to take these shredded carrots and I'm going to chop them into little bits. Sorry, I just want you to see that it's so important that when you have a small hatchling, that you get these into little bits. And this will promote eating and eating as much as they should and growth. So it's really important to chop it up for them. Now, my Greek is 20 years old, so he can, I spoil him. It's just, he could eat the whole thing, but why make him struggle? So we'll just chop these up. I wish I could fast forward this, but I can't. Anyway, so just chop it up real good. No big chunks. Okay, so we got that. Then we got white mushrooms. I do the sliced ones. It's easier to cut them up into little bits. Now, they could eat these. They're super soft. But I like to cut them up into little bits. They seem to devour it much better when you just chop it up for them. Now, how often do I feed my tortoises? Every day. Every day I go through this process. Do they eat it all? Nope. They don't eat it all, and I don't care. I love coming back and there's food on the plate, which means that they got their fill for the day. Now, I put it in the morning, and I take it out the next morning. That's how I do it. All right, so we need a little more of those. I wish I could give you the beneficial, of each thing that I am feeding them. But like, I don't know. So sulcatas, you also need to stay away from protein and sugars, right? And spinach. So only my Greek and my cherry redfoot baby gets high protein and sugar. And it's moderate, it's like it's evened out, They also get fruit. They love their fruit. It's good for them. So we got some cantaloupe here. And they like chomping on that, so I don't cut that up too small. They like actually breaking that off. So that is a good enough chunk. The watermelon is perfect for them to eat, so there's the watermelon. All right, so what else do we have here? Well, let's look at the greens. We have mustard greens. So just chop that up. And I pretty much just count 1, 2, 3. I got 3. So I just cut off 3 pieces and that's good for that. So there's that. And put that on the plate. And then we'll put these on the plate. And I haven't given my sulcata any treats, okay, which are carrots or fruit. Some people are like, none. Like they can't have any. I've read, however, in research, many people do like a 1% to 10% diet. I do 1%. So today I'm going to give him a little treat. So I'm going to give him some carrots. That many, not a lot, just enough to kind of say, oh, that's nummy. All right, some white mushrooms. And I'll give him a few little white mushrooms because today is treat day. I do every other weekend treat day, but I haven't done it in 2 weeks. So, okay, a big chunk for my Greek and a small chunk for my cherry. And then we'll divide these. You know what? I'm gonna give them 4 pieces each. And 1 piece for my sulcata. All right, so 1 big chunk for the sulcata, he'll like that. And the sulcata should have a slice of watermelon, he likes that. Just a little slice, just a sliver. Okay. And now we have, these are, I forget, collard greens. Collard greens. So I'll chop off 3 pieces of that. And put that on the plate there. Real quick. All right. So that's done, that's done. Oops, this fell off. I already did the collard. What's in here? What do we have? Mustard greens. So I like to give a variety of different kind of lettuces. I just do. Do you have to? No. Should, you know, it's just nice. So we do that. Now, you know, I do aloe. I do cactus pads. There's a lot of other things that I do. This is just what I'm doing this week. All right. So we got all that. Okay, now let's talk about the store-bought stuff. So calcium, Reptical, and this has got the D in it, D3 or whatever. And you just sprinkle it on there. Now I have a spray as well. I don't really like the spray much because you can't see it. You can't see how much you're really covering, and I also don't know the potency. I just really trust the powder more. I'm almost out, and we don't have any place within 2 hours that sells this stuff, so I have to order it online. Better get to that. All right, and for you, just sprinkle it on there real nice. Now you could also put this in a Tupperware container, sprinkle it on and shake it. And that way you make sure it's really all the way through. All right, so now I have the dried and fruit veggie mix. So these are dehydrated peas and carrots and tons of stuff in there. I just like it for, this does not go to the sulcata, but for my Greek and for my cherry. I just put a little bit on there, and then I always add water on my plates at the end so that they stay hydrated for the day. It also gives them some drinking water, and it hydrates and softens up the food. All right, so we got that. Then we got our hay pellets for the sulcata. I give a chunk to everybody, and that soaks in the water. I'm almost out, so we're not going to do that today. Then we have some mealworms, and I'm going to give the cherry redfoot a few of those. And those are good. You get them all in the water, and they mush up. I'm going to give some to my Greek. All right, and then this is the calcium spray. I don't like it too much. Then we got our buffet blend for tortoises. You really need to research these when you buy them. Believe it or not, they mark things for tortoises that are not for tortoises. Or not your kind of tortoise. Like, yeah, like this has carrots in it, which would not be a daily feeder for a sulcata. It just wouldn't. And what does it say for tortoises? I wonder if it lists like all the tortoises because, or it's just saying, you can feed this to all of your tortoises. Should write a review, huh? Anyway, a little bit of that. I am running low on my supplies. Yep. And then also, for protein, I do bearded dragon trail mix. There's one other thing. I want to stay right there, and I'll get it. Okay, for protein for my cherry and my Greek, I use Dragon Diet for bearded dragons. And this is fine. It's got vegetables and fruit and insects. Now, you don't want to give them a lot of this. Obviously, you want your protein to be the same as everything else. You know, you never overdo it. So, I'll tell you, it looks like poop, but they like it. Anyway, so there's that. All right. So that is how I prepare my meals, and then I'll add water to the dishes and I'll put it in there and they will eat it up. So I hope that helps somebody understand what you need to do daily for your tortoises, okay? And variety is great, but use the Tortoise Table app on your phone. It's free. And you can't go wrong using that. It's very informational without having to ask people what to do. So I hope I helped somebody.